This is evaluating formal and informal cultural responsive and accessible assessment. I am Kyle Westerman. Differences in evaluations and assessments. Evaluations passes judgments based on standards, helps improve learning. Assessments measures improvement over time, motivates students to study, evaluates teaching methods, ranks student capability to whole group, and improves the quality of future performance. Formative versus summative. Formative, which is less formal or informal, provides feedback, allows for growth in the learning process. And like I said earlier, it's informal and it could be formal as well, and like a quiz or something like that to test students' knowledge. This is a good time to see where the students are at. Do they need some more time to cover the information that you've taught? Do you need to go back and recover some stuff? Where summative helps to make decisions for grading, occurs at the end of an activity or a chapter or a unit, communicates students' abilities to the world, and is a formal assessment. Why assessments are important: determines if goals are being met, inspires us to ask hard questions, provides diagnostic feedback, helps set standards, evaluates progress, and it motivates performance. I know in my history classes, the assessments that I do are more of a short essay question type to promote retention of the information instead of multiple choice questions where students are just studying for 1-word or 2-word answers. What are some effective assessments? Self-assessments helps to provide student self-judgment, need an evaluative process, and there may be some resistance there from the students. Peer assessment, students evaluate the work of peers, can be antagonistic and have unsophisticated judgment. This is where the students need to be bought in to give positive feedback and really help their peers understand where they need to do better or where they've done a good job. Essays help develop skills and cultivates learning styles, needs to be used to analyze and synthesize. There should be an understanding that some students do not know how to write an essay. As I mentioned earlier, for my social studies classes in junior high, I do a lot of short essay questions for my assessments because I feel like it creates retention of the information, makes them develop skills where they explain the reason for their answer instead of just giving me an answer. They got to back it up with data and research in those answers, and it helps, I guess, retain that information better than just multiple choice questions. Exams can cause cramming, need to set up to demonstrate deep understanding, and that's where the short essay questions come into play. What are culturally responsible assessments? This is a way to ensure that assessments are created that are responsive to learning in the classroom and being respectful of their culture. Allows for students to draw connections between their learning and their direct daily experiences with the world and treating those experiences as an asset in the classroom. I do that a lot with my social studies classes where we'll read something about the past and then I'll have the kids make connections to their daily experiences or something that they've read or experienced in their lifetime. Not all students have the same educational opportunities, academic standing, similar experiences, learning styles, the understanding of questions, support services, or interactions as well. What can it look like? We do have portfolios, allow students to share their stories. This is a requirement of our seniors to create a portfolio before they graduate. They have to talk about what they've done outside of school, but also what they've done inside of school. They must create a resume, and they go in front of a panel to answer questions as well. Assessments should be modified to fit the language of the student. Here at Oxford, we don't have any students that don't speak English, but I know at some of the bigger schools with a more culturally diverse population can have the issue with that. What does well-being look like? A positive sense of self, spirit, and belonging that we feel when our cognitive, emotional, social, and physical needs are being met. Well-being can diverge depending on population, how satisfied they are with their lives, motivation to achieve, anxiousness about schoolwork, participation in physical activities, expectations for the future, and perceptions of being bullied. I know we test on this a lot with our students. We'll have the students fill out like a quiz, and it kind of sets on how they feel about the school culture and what's going on. What can we do to improve well-being? We build positive relationships with students, belonging and behavior management, connect with students and support their engagement, parental involvement, address bullying, decrease anxiety, and adapt lesson to class needs and knowledge. What's nice about being in a smaller school is, and we've done this multiple times, is we have met as a teaching staff and talked about each and every student and what their home life is like, what their school life is like, and we focused on things that need to be improved. And we can do that with every kid 6 through 12 on one of our PD days, and it's been really beneficial to be able to learn about students that you have in class that you may not know what their background is like, but another teacher or an admin staff does, and they can share that with the staff, so you get an understanding of what you can do to help improve the well-being of that student in school. What does ineffective assessment look like? Accountability assessments where you teach to the test, inadequate sampling, it's indirect, it's too narrow, not culturally accommodating, punishment mentality, and no accounting for the socioeconomic or disadvantaged behaviors or barriers. I think for me in social studies, it's become really easy for teachers to just pass out multiple choice tests because it's easy to grade. It's easier for the students, and I do think that's an ineffective assessment because they can just memorize, names, dates, places, 1 to 2 word answers, and it doesn't require the same focus and study that I think short question or short essay questions have. So how to improve the effectiveness? Understanding the socioeconomic background of the community and individuals, teach pedagogy, explain and demonstrate teaching and learning, groups students accordingly, have a friendly atmosphere, have various materials, scheming and planning, and differentiated questioning. What does an appropriate assessment look like? Focus on critical thinking, analyze, assess, and upgrade. And I think this is where my short answer questions or short essay questions come into play. It does focus on critical thinking because they're not just going to give me the answer to something, but they got to explain why that answer is correct. They have to back that statement up with facts, and this creates that critical thinking piece. So how do I develop critical thinking? They analyze and assess reasoning, identify strengths and weaknesses in thinking, identify obstacles to thought, develop strategies that enable one to apply critical thinking every day, understand stages of a thinker, scientific thinking, close reading, and substantive writing. And we do a lot of that close reading and substantive writing in my classes. What can I do to help? Develop roles for individuals, strengthen our culture, and build collaboration. Set the direction, help you understand the activities and goals that give us a purpose and vision. Distribute leadership roles and work to improve student learning. So what do we do here at Oxford Junior Senior High School? We create a culture that is capable, ambitious, thoughtful, and steadfast. We try to support foundations for the future, and we are trying to cultivate versatile citizens. And that's not just in my class, but that is a goal of every teacher here at USD 358. And here are my reference pages. Thank you.